Right now at 6 o'clock, what is being done to address one of the most notorious stretches of road around the Route 9 stoplights and on and off ramps in Middletown?
How millions of dollars in additional funds are set to help families struggling to make ends meet and heat their homes.
Plus, we now know where a fire started inside this house in Newtown. Firefighters say that location could serve as a clue as to how the fire started.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock on a Monday. Good morning, sunshine. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning. We hope you're coming off a weekend. Of course, you're coming off a weekend. The question was it good or bad? As you can see. Hey, it was good for me, Sam, I swear. I thought I got a good night's sleep last night. Apparently not.
That's good. I'm glad you were well rested.
Yeah. I mean, there are some newborns, I guess. Well, just
okay.
6 hours.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. We're starting our Monday morning off on a cool, dry note. No weather problems to deal with this morning. A little bit on the chilly side, but nothing that's too unusual. 22 Torrington. In fact, some of these temperatures are the normal high, mid-30s. New Haven there at 35, 32 Bridgeport. So, and some of the colder spots in the rural towns in northwestern and northeastern Connecticut. Not much in the way of wind, so a bit of a wind chill, but again, it's not too bad to take. Some snow flurries up in the Berkshires trying to make it into northwestern Connecticut, but don't see anything really. It's a little bit more worse than it really is. And up to the north, just like a secondary cold front moving through the region. So for today, look for basically mostly sunny skies other than a few clouds this morning. And temperatures this afternoon, basically seasonable. Highs averaging in the mid to maybe upper 30s. The northwest winds are going to pick up today at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Coming up, I'll detail this week, quiet week, and a little bit of a warming trend, and we'll talk about the next storm, what it will do, and what impacts it may or may not have on your Fox 61 7-day forecast. Now on the traffic, and we'll start out our Monday morning with Symphony. And how are we doing this morning?
Thank you, Sam. Doing pretty good so far. Checking out the flow of the Monday morning commute. You can see we are still seeing a couple of construction zones. So if you're riding along the interstates this morning, make sure you are on the lookout for those workers. Slow down and move over if you see them. Taking a live look out in Waterbury this morning. Traffic volume not bad at all in the 6 o'clock hours so far. Checking out the drive times. No delays reported on 84 or Route 8 this morning. And let's wrap with a quick look down in New Haven, where we're seeing a bit more traffic, but we are incident free so far. Your next update coming up at 6:30. Alrighty, as we approach 6:03 now, Route 9 can be a nice drive if you're heading from the Capitol to the shoreline, but there can be a bit of a holdup in one spot. We're talking about those traffic lights in Middletown.
Yeah, you're driving along, then the speed limit goes down. Next thing you know, you're stuck at a red light, and hopefully you're not getting rear-ended from somebody behind you. It's a busy spot, and that's not even talking about the on and the off ramps, which might be even more dangerous, including where Route 17 comes in. Now, the DOT knows this is annoying. It's a safety concern in some spots. That's why it's looking to ditch the stoplights. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live in Middletown with a look at the plans and what officials want from you. Brooke, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. You know, whether you're somebody that has to commute through Middletown to get down to work, or you're just like me and you're going down to Madison from Hartford for a nice little beach day on the weekends, it seems like this area of Route 9 through Middletown is just always congested, and it's really something that causes backups but also safety issues as well. Now this week, DOT leaders want to hear your concerns as they start to really go through the different proposals to improve this area, mainly getting rid of the stoplights. Right now there are 2 stoplights here on Route 9 through Middletown, and that's just in less than half a mile. These lights help traffic get from downtown onto Route 9 and vice versa, but they also cause major congestion and are a common site for crashes. DOT leaders say from 2019 to 2021, there were 350 crashes at those intersections, making this area one that they're focused on fixing. DOT leaders say this is a project that's really been in the works since the early 2000s. But now crews are closing in on a solution. They want to remove the lights and add in new on and off ramps from downtown to help traffic flow smoothly. That's in both the north and southbound directions. There are 2 proposals currently in the works, each sharing the goal of simplifying the stretch of highway and easing the congestion during those heavier hours of the day. Right now, there is no specific timeline for when the project would start and end, as developers are still in those early planning stages.
This is why we're doing these workshops, to understand what their concerns are. I'd much rather hear them at this stage than as we get further into design, so that we can incorporate them at the early stages.
And this is where you're going to come in. On Wednesday and Thursday, the DOT is holding public information meetings at Middletown City Hall. You can see those times listed there on your screen. Those are the ones for this week, but they're also going to have a third meeting. That'll be in April over at Wesleyan University. There's no specific time for that yet, as they haven't said it, but as soon as we have more information so that you can go do your comments and concerns, express those to those leaders, then we'll get that out to you. Live in Middletown, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Okay, Brooke, thank you. We'll see what comes of those public meetings. Now, at 6:05, we do have another month or so to go before winter ends, but local energy assistance programs say available funding to help families with their heating bills is already really tight, and the demand is still very high.
Yeah, now in response, state lawmakers have approved an additional $17 million to support those programs. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro joining us now with the details. Good morning, Angelo.
Symphony, Tim, good morning. That $17 million covers a gap in federal assistance to the state this winter, meaning more help for struggling families out there. Now, according to the Department of Social Services, to put this into perspective, almost 17,000 Connecticut families on heating assistance have already exhausted their heating benefits. Operation Fuel is getting $3.5 million from the state funding. The Connecticut Energy Assistance Program is getting $13.5 million. Both organizations offer financial help to low-income families. Now, this boost in state funding comes as federal funding drops back to pre-pandemic levels. And that's a problem because the Connecticut Energy Assistance Program relies on that federal funding. State lawmakers say federal assistance went up with demand during the pandemic, reaching $140 million back in 2022. This year, though, the state is getting about $84 million from the feds, even despite demand still being high. And that has forced Connecticut to slash eligibility.
We would have to close applications because at this point we've already received 4,000 applications, which is almost 1,000 more than we received in the whole season last fall. And that was twice as long. It was 2 months long. And so each time we open the season, we see an increased demand.
This bill will allow us to provide a crisis relief payment to everyone on deliverable fuels who has exhausted their benefits. That translates to a minimum of 100 gallons of fuel.
And the $17 million in the new state funding, that comes from unspent COVID relief funds. Operation Fuel is hoping to keep applications open until March 15th. However, that date is dependent on available funding. And according to the state website, the Connecticut Energy Assistance Program is accepting applications until May 31st. I will send things back to you guys.
All righty, thank you, Angelo. We'll check back in with you later on this morning. New this morning in Newtown, fire officials are investigating a fire that spread through a house. This was the scene last night on Indian Hill Lane. Firefighters say they were called on a report of a fire that started around a wood-burning stove. When crews arrived, the fire had spread to the attic of the home. No injuries were reported. Firefighters battled a house fire on O'Connell Road in Colchester yesterday morning. They helped 3 people escape the home. We're told no one was hurt. No word yet on what started the fire. Crews from 7 neighboring departments helped put out the fire.
A driver faces a DUI charge after their car went into the Hockanum River in Vernon. This happened just before 2 yesterday morning on Hartford Turnpike. That's Route 83. Crews said the car went down a 10-foot embankment and the hood of the car managed to make it all the way into the water. Fire crews said both people in the car managed to get out, but one of them had to be checked out at a hospital. Southington police said they detained the driver of a car that hit a house. That happened overnight, Saturday into Sunday, near Jude Lane and Mount Vernon Road. Police said the car went off the road, hit a parked car in a driveway, and then hit the garage door of that house. Police said a passenger who was in the car ran away. Well, this was a Subaru Impreza. Police said its driver intentionally rammed into a state police cruiser, one that had a canine in the back. Police said they pulled over Jacob Klotzer for speeding and weaving Saturday night in Willington, but they said he took off and then hit the cruiser a short time later on Route 74 in Tolland. Klotzer is facing DUI and other charges. Nobody was hurt, including the police dog.
Waterford police say a woman stole a generator from the Home Depot. Take a look at the person they are looking for this morning. A picture of her is on your screen right now. They say this happened at the store on the Hartford Turnpike back on February 7th. Officers also say she stole other items from the store. They are asking if you recognize her from this surveillance snapshot, notify Waterford police.